Hey guys, yo, JSP2 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Part 29. In the last part, we did Chapter 18. In this one, we're gonna do the side quest. This side quest, you actually have to do in has a special condition to actually get it. You actually need to beat that previous chapter under 15 turns, or 15 turns or less. You have to beat it. So, it's not that bad. Like I said, there's not that many enemies there, so it's not gonna take you a while. So, I got it without even have to trying it. But yeah, this is actually a pretty easy side quest as well. This is actually this is actually a really cool one, I have to say. I like the idea between this one. But yeah, this is a pretty fun one. As you can see, some more stories going on. Apparently, Ellie like bad. I don't know. It's just the storyline of the game, like right here, is pretty simple. You're just trying to get to the Dragon's Gate. There's just some added stuff like we should be careful, you know. And now Hector and Lynn are arguing about Hector's armor making noise, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know how like some knight people can actually like wear that. To me, that seems like uncomfortable to wear all that armor. And just like move around and like run and stuff. That is kind of weird. And this is what I mean by how like is Fire Emblem. Sometimes the evil bosses they would just be like the same character model except for like different colored hair and a different suit. So that's I want to say bad, but it's kind of interesting how they did that. But now Ninian's just playing enemies, and Ellie would meet this old guy. So yeah, we just have to seize the game this chapter. Pretty easy one. Recommend you being Canis or Canas if you want to use him. He's pretty good in this chapter. There's a lot about mages. Don't recommend you take Oisin because mages kill knights. I haven't actually brought him though. I was actually kind of I actually wanted to use a knight. I think knights are kind of worthless in this game. I don't know. I just think they are because you only get really one. Wallace, I don't know if you get him back. You probably do, but I don't know. But Wallace, him and there's not that many knights in this game because I like how the knights were in the console games. They were actually a lot more useful because they could do like more damage and stuff, and they could like move. I don't know if it was just me. They seem to be able to move a bit more far than these guys can. But yeah, Merlin, he's doing pretty good. It's kind of surprised that no one has actually beaten him or like destroyed his channel, which is kind of weird, but I don't really care that much. As long as he's leveling up. Merlin's level up mainly is going to be luck, I think. It probably is HP too, but it's mainly luck. Like, if you look at his level up thing, it actually has a lot of luck. So, yeah. And here I was looking at my units to see who's under level and who's not. Just because most of my units are now kind of the same level, so I'm kind of thinking like, who should I use more? Who should I not use more of? So, yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, this side quest chapter is actually pretty fun, and it's not that bad difficulty-wise. It's actually one really easy chapter. The main reason being because mages, they don't have that good of a defense, so about most of your units can kill them. The only unit you really have to worry about is Oisin if you have him, because knights we usually have like really bad resistance. And if am I saying he only has one resistance right now? So I didn't realize that. I thought he had like maybe 3 or 4, but I was like, wow, one because he got a level up later and he gained resistance and he had 2, and I'm like, wow, he only had 1. Cause I was like saying he got hit hard. I was like surprised, but he had a lot of HP, so it wasn't like he was gonna die anytime soon. But yeah, don't worry if many people attack Merlin, as you should be able to dodge him by now. If you haven't been using him, which you should. I don't know, you don't really have to use him in this kind of a chapter where there's not that many shops. You don't really and not many enemies drop anything either, so you really don't need to bring him, but I just do because I don't know. It's just kind of a thing I like to do. And Urk, he's turning out, I don't know. Urk is he's not disappointing me, he's doing alright. His speed and skill are pretty good, but I'm kind of wanting him to get more magic. Because right now, Canis has more magic than him, which is kind of depressing knowing he's 2 levels behind, but I don't know. I hope he gains a bit more magic, but he, like, I don't know. Anyway, units I recommend you use a lot in this chapter are probably Urk and Canis. They really can destroy everyone in this chapter. Like, you don't have to use anyone else. And for a while. I'll get more into what happens later, because something does happen. That makes this chapter really cool. But Canis and Urk just own. There's like knights for like what you can do with Canis is you can just there's a lot of mages you can just use him to kill everyone. And then have like someone with high probably Verscalia, or if maybe you decide maybe Urk is like level 20 somehow, or just you decide to just promote him for like fun. If you promote a Sage, you can actually use staves or healing items. So you know you can have like a high resistance unit to use a staff. Probably Pascalia or Sarah, your best choice. And then Urk, he can be pretty useful for the knights, cause there are knights, and there are Pegasus knights, which is pretty interesting. But Florian took care of them, so yeah. And also, the one thing I noticed, Hector, he's actually fallen behind. He's actually caught up with everyone now. Even though he was never behind, he was actually ahead. So I'm actually going to start using him a bit more, which I was like excited. I was like, yes, I can actually use Hector now. Without worrying he's going to get overpowered. Because he's probably the most easiest unit, in my opinion, to just make him overpowered. Because he has really good strength in defense. And if you have enough speed for him, he can just like destroy everything in his path. Like, it's not even funny. Because like, he can kill bosses in like 2 turns. Or 3, depending. So, yeah. Prescalia, she's still not getting, magic, which is like, come on, Prescalia, get magic, it's not that hard. I hope her growth rate doesn't make her, like, lose magic. I don't really focus that much on growth rates, because if you just, if you go to Farm Wiki or whatever website that talks about characters or units, they tell you a brief bio, what you can expect from him. They have like a chart of his base stats and stuff, so it's like you don't know what you're gonna get. What's the point of focusing on the growth rates? So that's what I think anyway. And here, if you go into this like village, I don't know, it doesn't even look like a village at all. It looks more like a temple. So, but then again, it probably is a temple, because if this was a village, that'd be kind of weird. Cause like if you heard from those villagers from that port city or town, they were like, Valor's a bad place, so why would people make a village there? So I'm guessing that's it. That's probably like a holy temple, because there's a bishop there, so I'm guessing that's a temple. I guess they couldn't have a temple background. I don't know if the game designers were either lazy or they didn't notice that. I'm gonna assume they were lazy, or they could have not noticed that as well. But yeah. And yeah, this is what happens after like I don't know what turn, but like after like 3 or 4 turns. What happens is, or it could actually be if you move. I'm pretty sure it's turn based. This guy, he actually puts a magic parry up, which basically it's like a double-edged sword in a way, because now you kind of have to be a bit more careful with your magic units, because you can put them in range. So you kind of have to make sure they're out of range, but it's pretty easy since they are ranged attackers. You know, if they had an attack right in front of them, that would be a problem. But since they don't, you know, you don't have to worry that much. But yeah, I'm not really using Canis like how I don't want to, but it's just I don't know. I'm probably not gonna use Canis for my final team. I might, because the next chapter actually does have a guiding ring, which is the thing for promote mages. So I might not, because the thing is, I don't like having that many of the same units. It's just I don't really feel like it's necessary to have, you know, 2 mages, 2 cavaliers and stuff. I usually get 2 cavaliers though, because cavaliers are kind of the more the enemies you usually get. Anyway, that guy, he did a spell there called Nustafar, something funky like that. I didn't really explain about it. I think we got it last chapter. I didn't really talk about it. It's actually a pretty useful dark magic. What it does is, once you attack a unit, the unit, how much damage the attack does, like for instance, say if Canis has like 5 HP, and he attacks a knight that has like 18 or 30, and he is Mustafar, or how you pronounce that. And if he gets 15 on the first blow, he gains 15 health back. I'm thinking of it like the Mega Drain or Giga Drain from Pokemon, but a bit better. So yeah, that's a pretty useful skill. It's only for dark magic users, so that's kind of it's bad. Well, not bad, but it's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, it says you can give it a Canis if you actually plan to use it. And like I said, he's a pretty good unit too. If you don't wanna use Urk or Lucius, or Urk and Lucius, or you wanna use Lucius and Canis, you can. Because Canis and Lucius are actually a pretty good combination, because there's actually not a lot of light users. You only saw a couple in the last chapter, but there are really a lot of light users. There are more in like the Radiant Dawn, I noticed, because like there's a lot of bishops, and bishops can use light magic. So there's a lot more, but it's kind of annoying too. I definitely think though, in the controversy, they're just so much different. Because if I play each of them, I kind of review them in a different way. I was just drinking water there because I'm kind of thirsty. And water's pretty good for you as well. So what you guys been up to lately? I'm actually trying to record a lot more Fire Emblem for whatever reason. It's either I'm getting excited about it, or I want to finish this project. It's more like I have nothing to do now, so I'm like, let me go and try to finish this project. Cause my next project, I'm probably gonna do an RPG game. Probably gonna be Final Fantasy game or a Pokemon game, because I like those two games. Probably Zelda games probably be in the future as well, if you're wondering. I like Zelda. My favorite video game franchise. Second, if you are wondering, is Final Fantasy. My third is Pokemon. Probably Pokemon should be my first one. I just like playing Final Fantasy games and Legend of Zelda games more. The main reason being Pokemon was probably like not my first video, but one of my first video games that actually got me into video games. Cause I did own a Nintendo 64, and I had like every great game except for the two Legend of Zelda games. I know, it's just I was really interested because I was only like 6 when I had it, so it wasn't like I was interested in that much. And I never had a Nintendo, and I don't know if I did Super Nintendo, because I did find a Super Nintendo cartridge. So I'm assuming my parents probably sold it. I just never noticed. That's what I'm going to assume, by the way. I don't know for sure. Maybe I do have one. Maybe it's somewhere. I don't know. But yeah. Nintendo 64, and I forgot what I was talking about. It sucks. That blows. But yeah, I had a Nintendo 64. I like everyone I knew had one too. Back in the day when the PS2 and the GameCube and the Xbox were out, like whenever I went to I used to go to Costco and Sam's Club with my dad sometimes, and I never saw an Xbox for sale out there at all. I saw a PS2 and GameCube, but I never saw an Xbox. I was like, no one I knew also I had an Xbox as well. I knew an Xbox was a console. I just never really knew anyone that had it, and I didn't know any of the games for it as well. Cause I had a GameCube and a PS2, which most gamers had. Because if you had a PS2 and a GameCube, you were straight. There were a couple of games from Microsoft, for the Xbox that were, I guess, somewhat good. I guess Fable is probably one of the more better ones, but there aren't really that many exclusives you had from for the Microsoft and the Xbox days. I don't know, maybe there were a lot of exclusives I don't know about, because like I said, I never owned an Xbox. Weird though that I have an Xbox 360 and never played the original Xbox, but I guess Xbox did have one of the two iconic shooters. They had Halo and Halo 2, which, really kind of molded the FPS world. Because the only other shooter at the time that I really kind of compared to it was and never. I'm gonna stop talking for the support. This to me this is the weirdest but interesting support ever. It's like Hector talking to Florina, but it's just so weird. It's like, what is going on? You have no idea what's going on. This is hilarious. And I actually got support with those two, so I'm hoping Lynn and Ellie would soon follow up in the next chapter, guys. Probably. They didn't get one in this one. I'm hoping they do in the next one, though. But that's just kind of idea for my support, if you are wondering. Rebecca and Lowen, Ellie Wood and Lynn, um, Florina and Hector. Sane, I'm probably gonna. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for Sane. I'm thinking about doing Sane, and I don't know, cause I would have done probably Rebecca if I didn't have Lowen. Like, but I like Lowen and Rebecca. It's just kind of annoying trying to figure out who I'm going to partner up with Sane and Urk. Because Sane and Urk can be supporting. Priscalia, she can be supported with Sane, Urk, and Guy. So those two, they solve my problem. But it's like I don't really. Priscalia, she's weak, and I don't want her to die. So I don't want to put her in the front. Well, not really the front lines. I really don't put Guy and I put Sane in the front lines a lot, but everyone else not really. But that's just a matter of opinion. I guess I could use, if I had Kent, it would probably be a bit better for me. So I could probably do a support between Sane and Kent. But then again, who would Rebecca be with? Then I can use Will, but who would Will be with? I don't know. I wish they were like in in the console games, how you can know who they can be supported with, and you can just create one automatically, which was so nice here in Don. It was just so more ah man, can't talk today. So much useful. Man, that was bad. You know what I'm talking about though. It was so useful. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And like you kind of had a guess, but some of them are pretty obvious, like Hector and Ellie Wood. So some of them are obvious. Some of them are kind of like you never would assume. Cause I never thought like Zane and Rebecca. Well, I don't know. I guess you can assume that, but I look at most of my supports from online. I just type in. I go to Fire Emblem Wiki, which kind of helps me out with the chapters and stuff. Usually when I play Fire Emblem, I usually don't play like I am now, because I don't really care if a unit specifically dies. I'll just play like, who cares? But I kind of do now. Thing is weird though. In Sacred Stones, I lost like 4 units, I think, when I first played through the game. And this game, I haven't even lost any. Well, I have, but you never saw them because I don't like when my units die. So. But usually if I play this game like normally, I really wouldn't care that much. And would just be like, I can find a different replacement. So. But I do actually try to make sure my units are alive, you know. It is sometimes kind of annoying. If a person's at the wrong place at the wrong time and they get screwed over. So, yeah. Fire Emblem. I don't know what I would rate this in my favorite video game franchise. I like the games, but they are probably one of my favorite ones, but they're probably in the top 10 or top 20 because I like some other RPGs more. Advance Wars is probably below this. I like Advance Wars, but I like the whole RPG because RPG is my favorite genre. So I'm gonna like this a bit more than I do Advance Wars. But Advance Wars is pretty fun though, I have to say. It's a bit more like modern if you never played it. It's kind of like a modernized version of Fire Emblem. The main difference also being there's no level ups and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. It's like you're actually in a war. I might do that for an LP as well. Maybe next year because I'm planning not to do a lot. I'm trying to kind of space out my real strategy games because strategy games are kind of more the stressful ones in my opinion because adventure games you don't have to worry about as much. But like strategy games you can just get unlucky and stuff. But yeah. Also, I don't know if there's any way you can kill that boss without hacking. Or if you're promoted a unit and he has like, you really buffed that unit up. But I don't see how you're gonna kill that guy. Cause he has like 50 HP, that's a lot. I don't think anyone can do 50 damage, even if they are promoted. Maybe if Guy has a killing edge and you promoted him, maybe I can see that happening. But he would have to have a lot more strength. Raven, maybe Raven. If you promote him a hero early on, maybe that could be a possibility. If he has like a killing edge. I always thought it was weird that, like, I always think Killing Edge was just an exclusive weapon for the Myrmidon class. Cause it just seems more fit to having a Killing Edge for like a Myrmidon, you know. I can imagine Ellie, like, can you imagine Elliewood carrying a Killing Edge? Cause I can. Lynn, I kind of can, cause she does for shared traits with Myrmidon. So, but anyway, the boss in this chapter is the easiest boss in the game. He cannot do anything to you at all. You can kill him with anyone you want, except for the healers, unless you promoted them, which I don't think you can. So, yeah, easiest boss ever. He cannot attack you at all. You can kill him with everyone. The only downside is he's on a base. So wait, this is a good boss abuser, because if you have patience, you can just keep on attacking him and just get a lot of experience and maybe able to like level up a lot of units. So he'll be a perfect example of a boss abuse. Because most of your units shouldn't be able to do that much against him unless you got very lucky, have a lot of strength and speed, or you hack the game and you made him have full strength. Anyway, but yeah. Though also another cool thing is there's 2 snipers promoted units. This is like the first time, well, not the first time, but the first time you don't see anyone that's a paladin that's a promoted unit or a general. You actually get to see snipers, and that's pretty nice. Also, the icing on the cake of the snipers is they will not move or they will not attack you at all if you're not in the range. Like if you're like, you know, like adjacent to them, not adjacent. If you're like diagonal to them, they will attack you and probably will kill you, but they won't move at all. And if you just keep on attacking them head on, they're not going to do anything to you, which is very nice. This is going to be another like a level. I consider these like a good 4 bosses, because the knights, he actually give you a decent amount of experience. They give you a good chunk, and the snipers, they give you it's a guaranteed level most of the time. So snipers, they're pretty good too. If you have a lot of low level units, recommend you take them in this place. You get a lot of experience. Pretty good, especially for Canis if you plan to use him. Lucius, not so much. It's not a lot of dark users. Lucius, I don't know. I don't really like using light magic users that much, even though they're okay, but it's just, I'd rather say use somebody else that can use, you know, better magic. I don't know. Pasta is good. But yeah, we're almost done with this game, guys. I'll actually tell you the truth. We're on chapter 18x, chapter 19 is up next, and then we got 11 chapters left. If you're wondering if I'm going to do Hector's mode, that's probably going to be like a bonus, because I'd rather not play this game again just to do Hector's mode. Because Hector's mode, if you are wondering, is something you unlock after you beat Lynn's and Elliewood's mode. And Hector's mode is basically Elliewood's mode. The main difference being is your protagonist is Hector, and you get a couple of extra units, and the enemies are a bit more stronger. So that's like the main difference. There really isn't that many. There are a couple units that you do get only with Hector, so there aren't really that many differences. If I ever do this, you know, it's probably gonna be like a mini project. I do like a weekend mini project where I just upload a chapter a day for Hector. Or what I will probably do might be just showing you the chapters that are different, not like showing you like chapters where you can just recruit different characters and stuff. Another thing about Hector's one is you're gonna go through Hector's perspective. You're not gonna go to Elliewood's. There are some cases where Elliewood gets affected, and it's kind of deep. I'm pretty sure you can guess what it is. But there are some other cases where Hector gets affected, and you don't see it. You won't really see it as Hector's kind of perspective. So even though you know what he feels like, so. But yeah. This game is a lot more long than Secret Stones. That's kind of surprising, to tell you the truth. I guess if you think about Secret Stones, they'd have a creature campaign. I guess they had a bit kind of interesting length to it, but I don't know. This had 30 chapters. Secret Stones had like, I think they had like 25 plus. They had like 25 or 26. I don't think they had 30. I don't believe they did anyway. Secret Stones is pretty fun though, to tell you the truth. One of the easier ones as well. Because there's a lot of stuff you can do with that one. But it's pretty fun. I'm probably not gonna do that next because I don't want to do another strategy game. If I do a strategy game, it's probably gonna be Final Fantasy Tactics Advance because I like that game. It's pretty fun. Because I like the first one for the PS1, and it was pretty good. It had some really good graphics. I always thought it was weird though. Well, do you think like the PS1 was like good competition for the 64? But I don't know. Was it PS1 64-bit too? Because I can imagine Square Enix or Squaresoft back then actually making those kind of Final Fantasy games for the Nintendo 64. Maybe it might be possible, but I don't know. Because if you think about it, Nintendo never had a 32-bit console. They had 16-bit and 8-bit, but they never had 32. But, you know, some consoles. I know Sega probably had it. I don't know about the earlier ones because I'm young and don't know that much. I know Sega had like the Genesis and the Saturn and stuff like that. So I'm gonna assume the Genesis was like something. I think that Dreamcast was like a 64-bit and Saturn was like the 32-bit. I don't know. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. But yeah, Sega's a third-party developer now, which is nice. I don't know. Question of the day: do you think Sega, if they still make video games, well, they do. They do. If they were still a video game company that makes consoles and stuff, do you think they would survive nowadays? I don't know if they would. I guess they do still have the exclusive of Sonic, but it's like they have to make a bit more 2D ones because not many people like the 3D ones. Sonic Colors, well, it's pretty nice, even though it wasn't really a 3D one, it was a 2D one. Sonic Colors was pretty fun. Some of the other Sonic games I didn't really like as much, like Sonic the Mystery Grange really didn't appeal to me. It was kind of weird. Another support, Rebecca and Lowen, nice. This is kind of I think this support is really weird. It's kind of more or less Lowen being an idiot, like I'm a dude, and now I'm a douche. I'm a pathetic human. And everybody's like, it's okay. Here, have some food. I spoiled it. I'm sorry. That's what happens. But I don't know. I haven't seen the A rank, A support. I'm guessing it's something different. My bad. Oh yeah, that's some insight information. I like Fire Emblem games because if you do post commentary with them, it's a lot more fun. Well, I guess live commentary would be more fun, but be annoying. Because if you die, it's like, oh, I have to start this chapter over again. But if I ever do like if I do like an RPG, like I said, I probably will be doing. I'm probably gonna do a live. That I have to concentrate on doing a Fire Emblem. RPG, not so much. I can be like being an idiot. But yeah, like the thing I noticed is I don't know if this is supposed to happen, but apparently this guy gives a pretty good critical percentage. You know, they're getting 14, 13. You know, I'm not like wow. So I don't know. Maybe he has a boosted critical percentage. If that happens, you know, if you have a killer weapon, might be able to take advantage of it. Like I said, I don't think you can kill him though. So maybe Marcus might be able to if you raise him up a lot of levels. Maybe, but I highly doubt it. Anyway, that's the end of the chapter, guys. I'm not gonna say adios right now because we didn't even get to the post commentary. I mean, not the post commentary. The the end dialogue for the chapter. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just moving my units. So a pretty fun side quest chapter. One you really shouldn't worry about as much, and you can't get any characters or anything like that, so don't worry about that. And yeah, pretty fun. And remember guys, my next LP is going to be an RPG or an adventure game. I might do a Legend of Zelda game, maybe. If I do one, it's probably gonna be like A Link to the Past or Minish Cap. Because I like those games. I like every Zelda game, including number 2, which a lot of people don't like. But I admit it is a really hard Zelda game, and it is one of the most different ones as well. Anyway, this is GoChansP2 here saying adios.